Oh, we got to balance coffee too on top of the book bag this morning.
Yeah, well, you gotta have, you gotta have your coffee.
Priorities. I love you, Donnie. You take care of you.
Thank you. I love you too. Kiss, kiss.
All right. Bye.
Happy commuting.
Wow. At least there's a little bit of daylight starting to come through out there. Yeah, I'm just a good little wife this morning seeing him off. You know, we couldn't have timed this any better. We have a day off from school today, and we still had to get up at 5:30 in the morning. We are taking enough of a trip today that I started Ruby to charge extra this morning. I charged her to 90% last night, and then she just put in a little bit more. We're headed out with 266 miles this morning. That's somewhere over 90%, but obviously not that close to 100% either. This time of year where it's not peak in the morning, we'll charge to 90% overnight, and then if we're going to travel someplace, we'll just plug her back in to pick up a little bit more along the way. I should have plugged her in maybe a little bit earlier this morning, but it'll be fine. We'll be charging in Rocky Mount today. So I guess I should tell you that the North Carolina teachers are having a rally in downtown Raleigh. I don't want to say they walked out, and I don't want to say it's a strike. They basically asked for one day to go to the legislature from all over the state and express their concerns about teacher pay and money to buy supplies in the classroom and other benefit and working condition type things. I think it's a reasonable compromise between not having a union and them still needing to get their voices heard. There have been some strides made in increasing the pay and getting them a little bit more money for discretionary use for supplies in the classroom. I'm sure it's not nearly enough. So what happens is they don't have enough subs to cover, and they end up adding a teacher work day to the calendar. I know some folks would like for them to just wait till the end of the school year because we're really close, but I get it that it doesn't make as much of a statement if they're not missed from the classroom on the day they want to express their thoughts. So what that means is an extra holiday for all of the kids, mine and Michelle's kids, all on the same day, and we're headed to Sylvan Heights Waterfowl Park up in Scotland Neck. That's pretty close to the Virginia border. It's not too far from the Center for Energy Education at the solar farm or the NC car track. They're kind of all up in that direction. And on the way back today, whether we need to or not, we're going to stop in at Rocky Mount and put a little bit of charge in Ruby, and maybe eat at the steakhouse there at the supercharger. Maybe patronize that business that allows the supercharger to be there. It seems like that's the only supercharger we've used lately with the trips to Farmville and NC Car and the solar farm, but that's okay. I'm quite familiar with that supercharger now. So Johnny and I are in the car. We're trying to wake up. I had a little bit more sleep after Dawn left this morning, and we're headed over to get Michelle's kids. When I head east, I stop and pick her up. When we head west to the zoo, she comes to my house. So it's my day to go grab them over there. It's quite the pleasant day. Little breeze, kind of cool, sort of cloudy, not too bright. It's supposed to be sunny and near 90, so I assume it's gonna pick up a little bit here. Oh, look at Jar Jar go. Hey Jarvis, is Johnny, you do as good with the laser pointer as the cats do. Goodness. Well, let's get your exercise in him a little bit because he'll be sleeping the rest of the day. Yeah, exactly. All right, Ariel and Connor are in the back. And Devin and Johnny are in the middle, and Michelle, she's waiting for me to open her door. No, she wants to know where the cooler's going. That's what she wants to know. Put them in the front. No, all right, they're loaded up from back here too. I just wanted to say, between the S and the 3 and the 6-seater X, it's really nice in the rear view mirror that you get to look straight back with no blockage. Because in the S and the 3, there's a bump there, and yeah, I really liked there not being a bump in the 6-seater. So Ruby didn't open the doors all the way, and for the first time ever, I have set her to always open fully at this location. Because I'm not going to be putting her in Michelle's garage. Plus, I think her garage is high enough inside anyway. And when we load up out here, we need the doors all the way open. So we are going to Sylvan Heights Bird Park.
God bless you. Sorry.
And so we'll get there with 47% battery. We could get back to Michelle's house with 7%. But I'm going to run the climate some probably while we're at the park so that the car doesn't get super duper hot, or, you know, and I'm not going to watch my speed or do anything. So I'm just planning when we come back down through there on the way home, stopping at Rocky Mount and picking up some charge. So that'll work out perfectly. So Ruby says we'll be there just before noon. We've gotten on to 64 headed east now after getting past a couple of drivers that may have been annoying. I may have been a little mouthy at them, and it should be easy cruising here until the other side of Rocky Mount. North Carolina does have some pretty roadside flower plantings. Looking pretty. So I just had another instance out here on the interstate. It wasn't even a strong shadow where she false braked. So I'm just gonna say the shadow thing, from my perspective, is back pretty significantly, doing it in 12.11, but others' mileage may vary. I'm sure they'll continue to finesse it. I had wondered when they gave the explanation of the neural net and how they program the car to handle situations, if there was any chance of back leveling enhancements based on new feedback. Like, they got it fine-tuned exactly perfect, and then the neural net gives us some data that causes them to regress. I wondered if that was possible. Sure is feeling that way right now. Like, we were well over the shadow thing, and here it is doing it pretty often. So here's a situation where I'm really perplexed as to why she didn't request to move me into the passing lane. She had lots of opportunities. It's not like she threw up the red line because somebody was there. She just hasn't requested it. So the truck and now this Camaro are going past me. I'm waiting for her to decide. This is a little slower than I'd like, and she's just not doing it. So why are we not moving over, Ruby? All right, I'll signal. Let's go, girl. I had enough of being in this lane. Come on, just move. I get to tell you when to move sometimes too. So we've been at this standoff here for going on 5 minutes now. There are two tractor trailer trucks up there, not the car hauler in front of me. What's wrong? I've got control, Ruby. I don't know why you dropped, but I'm here, sweet girl. The two semi trucks in front, box trucks, not this car hauler, are basically blocking the interstate. And the driver in front of me is pretty perturbed about it, so he's been doing some not smart things. And yeah, I don't know why the one truck up there can't get over, but he just won't. And there's another trucker up there, so I want to say I feel for sure he would let him in if he just conveyed that he really needed to get out of the passing lane, but oh no. Ruby, the nice warm car, the good music, calm cruise down the highway. Everybody's chillaxing back there today. Tell you one good thing about Nav on Autopilot, you're not going to miss your exit, because she's taking you over and taking that exit. If you're just cruising along and don't notice where you are, she's not going to let you miss it. So we're on NC 97, still headed a little east, but we'll be moving more northerly here in a bit to meet in with US Highway 258. Lots and lots of farmland out here, cattle, big irrigation setup. I know in the fall when we're out here we see a lot of cotton being harvested. I'm sure there's some tobacco out here too. It's pretty country out here, really pretty country. Wow, high-tech construction stuff out here in the country. Whoa! I was like trying to figure out if they were serious there for a minute. Yeah, I was gonna say you might want to wait till that car actually gets through. But okay, I'll start through now.
That's so cool.
That was, yeah, totally unexpected and no clue. But right here outside the city limits for Scotland Neck, 258's closed. Could be due to flooding. There's a really great overlook here, I think on the Neuse River. I just went back to the last major road before the closure, and she rerouted us in this loop. It's a 5 or 6 mile loop though, so it's not short. I don't know my way around up here enough to have found a quicker path. So this is my favorite house in Scotland Neck. I just love it. I just love it. It is actually starting to look like it could use some paint. Gotta love the phlox in the front yard there. Oh, but please paint it again soon. Always wanted to. I said we had to. The kids are thrilled. I mean, seriously, I've been past there 10 times and wanted to stop, and finally today we get out and we go over there, and even though it says they're open and they're open today, they're closed. They must have gone out to lunch. So there's a graveyard right next to Sylvan Heights, and for various reasons we come in to check it out. I sort of like looking for angels, cherubs, and taking pictures. But this person on the left here, Perry Father, I can't read the first name, says they died in 1916. So some of these graves in here, Trinity Episcopal, are really old. And I know that people go out and take pictures of the headstones so that they show up on Ancestry.com. It's actually really helpful for tracing families. Right now we might be slightly horrified at the number of people here today. I mean, I'm used to coming into the parking lot and there's what, Michelle, 10 other cars? And not only is the main parking lot full, really full by the way, but the overflow lot is really full, and there's 4 or 5 buses here, and I'm just like, I mean, I figured a few people would have the same idea we did and come because a lot of kids in the state are out of school today, but I just didn't think it would be this bad. Or good for them, I guess. I parked Ruby safely over here at the corner of the field, and I think she'll work. The bird park is through those trees. Like mother, like daughter. We've got our braid and we've got our little backpack purse. It's so cute. So after you sign in and you come through the registration building,
I just don't care.
There's an enclosure right here off the deck. Oh wow, there's a frog. Frog sound. Frog sound. But they've moved flamingos up here. We don't usually see flamingos on the deck. So, are you hot, Connor? No. No, you're not hot. And he's got a, not only is it a sweat jacket, but it's also for soup, hot soup. Raymond. Well, it says Raymond noodle soup. They have a lot of pretty foliage in the park. Kind of like the zoo. They work to make it look pretty. Of course, yeah, I'm really enjoying seeing how their planters are here. I'm very motivated to do mine ASAP.
I'm very motivated for you to come over and do it to my house too.
Okay, well, you know what? If I got money to spend, I'd be glad to come and do it for you. Be my pleasure. This is an obsidian ground hornbill. The hornbill guys, they have these, well, they have these horned bills and they are gorgeous. I just love these guys. They have personality, and there's 2 of them in here, so I'm assuming mates. The kids are excited because this parrot down here is talking to them. I heard the kids say hello and somebody say hello back, and I'm like, it's not a person. The birds in this exhibit are from Australia. This is an umbrella cockatoo. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello.
We can feed Matilda with our hands, right?
Yes, Matilda is safe. Matilda is a great barren goose. Hello again? Well, hello to you too. Do you let Matilda get all the attention in here? Hello. Is Matilda? Oh wow, good job, Devin. Yeah, Matilda is one of the birds that they use to talk to kids that come in from school groups. Matilda!
Look at the...
From South America. Oh wow, look at how colorful. Goodness, buddy.
I'll keep you up at night.
All right, Mr. Kookaburra, you've been making all kinds of noise while I've been here, but now that I'm standing in front of you. This is a red-billed hornbill, and he's very tiny for a hornbill. These oak leaf hydrangeas will be really pretty come fall. Can you imagine the fun of having a budget to go pick out all of these plants and just go around the park and go, okay, I need something low, I need something crawling, I need something taller, and just filling all these planters? Fun. Johnny says this bird's pretty friendly. Do we know what it is? I think it's this one too. This greenhouse type exhibit is something they worked on for 3 or 4 years and got the money to finish up, and it's really nice in here. It's hot, but the birds like it. It's a good environment for them. These are birds from the tropics in here. So most of the birds here are clustered together with other birds from their region of the world. They do a lot of education, conservation, and I guess studies of all kinds of bird stuff at this bird park. Is he interested in eating? No, he tried. A couple of burrowing owls in this exhibit, something I would love to go see out in the wild sometime. But I enjoy seeing them here. Hi, buddy. Hi. Johnny found a tent caterpillar. Around here this time of year, they're pretty easy to find. We're going to walk on the wetland bridge. Over the year, interesting things have happened on this bridge, including crocs falling over the edge and going downstream. Yes, that did happen here. So we're in the part of the park that visitors are allowed to, you know, walk around in. But there's a lot more park back this way, and one of the things they do is help breed and conserve rare birds. So if you walk the long bridge, you get to stand up here in the nice cool shade and hear the cascading water. I like this tree over here because it reminds me of a hobbit hole. I imagine little people living down there and having a very happy life out here in the woods. So this is the endangered section. We have both the Madagascar teal and the white-winged dunk in here, and I've seen both of them. The teal is here sort of close to me, moving near that food dish, and the white-winged duck is on the other side over there and over here. It says 17 species of waterfowl are listed as endangered or critically endangered worldwide. This is a peacock in all his glory. It's just really hard to get a good picture or see them when they're in the enclosure. One time we were here and he was right there and he showed his tail feathers and it was so pretty. Ariel is pleased to finally have a bird here today that wasn't fed by the school groups and is actually happy. And now keep it very flat.
Like this?
Yep.
It helps you fill them one at a time.
He wants it, but he's not sure.
One at a time like this.
See what I mean?
I see what you
I
mean
want
now.
a
Splash. That looks so refreshing.
I want that too. Okay.
He's waiting for you to feed him.
Well, I thought the little.
He knows you're feeding him.
She was just throwing her whole bag at the window.
I think that's kind of new. The Duke Energy Nature Walkway. We usually just go in here and head down. But I'm game to check this out. I would say that they're still working on getting exhibits out here. But it's coming along nicely. Every time we're here, they've done something new and interesting. They're very concerned here about privet, Chinese privet. I've talked before about it being an invasive and how hard Don has to work to keep it out of our yard. It's all over the place out there. Big bushes too. I can see it from here. So they're trying to take back a little bit of the wetlands and make it more natural again. They're in the Birds of Eurasia exhibit now. Swans behind me. And goose. Goose and swans. You really don't want to mess with this guy. He can come through the fence farther than you think he can. Hello? Yes?
We have to go this way.
Oh, okay. Hi. Hello. So normally we would go through here into the South America exhibit to see the this bird does not want us to come through though.
Why not? Why?
Okay.
No, just walk past him.
Oh.
Just walk normal.
Nope.
Just walk normal. Oh yeah, go get Cotter. Well, you know, I think there's got to be safety in numbers. You know, how many people can he go after at one time?
Nope.
This is called Toad Hall, and it was not here in any way, shape, or form the last time we were here. And I'm thinking it's for weddings and other events, and it's way cool. They do have one big gala a year here to raise money and have a really nice banquet. Wow. Impressive blue hour picture here. Says your next event could be here. Toad Hall Pavilion is now available for weddings, reunions, parties, and other events. Featuring a stone fireplace and rustic decor, this 4,400 square foot event space can seat more than 200 guests. Johnny says it's tradition and we have to play Four Corners at least a couple times.
Does that have my name on this?
No. Just because other people did doesn't mean you can. On your mark, get set, go. $22, $23, $24, $25. All right, Johnny's over here in four. Michelle is over here in 2. Then 3.
Ding, 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 ding.
No! The view from the treehouse is nice, but if there are any beaver or nutria or even turtles down there today, it's too grown up to see. I don't know what's going in there, but it looks like something else cool. We're gonna go up to the main building and get some refreshment and then come back to the feeding zone. They have also expanded the gift shop since the last time we were here. Wow, it's a lot more space and cool stuff. They have a fossil dig here, and Ariel and Johnny are over there looking for fossils. Okay, go.
found these coral fossil thingies and a small shark tooth.
Wow, that's pretty cool, Ariel.
Yeah, thanks.
This is our favorite thing here, the landing zone, where the birds come and eat on these sticks with seeds the kids have, and hopefully they're hungry enough to care. It's just a matter of finding the right interested bird. And we've got Victoria Crown pigeons in here. Aw, these two are being sweet on each other. This is all our favorite part, right, Connor? An up-close experience with a bird. I gotta go visit the Victoria Crown pigeon. You can also feed the flamingos. I think the kids are out of the pellet food, but after all those school groups this morning, they may not be super hungry right now, but they're a lot of fun to be in here with, interact with up close.
Can you give Isabel one of yours, please?
Now, one of the birds always lands in somebody's hair. Oh, wow, and that's the big bird, too. That's not one of the, that's one of the special guys.
And it poops in your head.
Ariel's enjoying the bird, but she'd also be okay if he would jump onto the stick and leave her hair.
Get on the stick.
I don't think you can escape. Not that rational.
Haha, very funny.
Can I try to move them?
My bird.
Oh, I don't want to try.
The doors were open, and with the wind coming through the car, you couldn't hear what I said here. But basically, to keep the car at 80 degrees, it cost us about 10 miles in range, 8 to 10 miles for a 4-hour period. And I did that because we had electronics in the car. So I want to navigate us to the Rocky Mount Supercharger. It's 27 miles away. Says we'll get there with 27% charge. I'd like to arrive closer to 20% because I want to test the 150 kilowatt charging. Hopefully that'll be sufficiently low to get the higher charge. It is presently showing that to get to Michelle's house, I would need to stop at Rocky Mount for 15 minutes and not just try to go straight back. And then that would get me to her house at 23%, which of course I know I've got to go the 10 miles or 20 more minutes over to my house. 101 miles home through the supercharger, which is only going to add like 3 or 4 miles onto the trip. It's really not going to add much, and about 2 hours because we are getting into rush hour. But of course we're going to stop and eat, so that's going to lessen the rush hour a little bit. I was just curious if we tried to go straight on through without stopping what it would say. So I'm going to leave this up because you know, it's going to tell me to stop and charge anyway. I know we didn't leave the state today, but this is an example of going out of the range that you left home with and having to stop at the supercharger to keep, I guess, a reasonable cushion to get back home. The car is now telling me what I need to do, and I am, you know, even though I had it figured out anyway, I'm going to listen and let, you know, Ruby show me the way. So South 258 is still closed. At least on this side coming out of town, they have a detour marked, so we know how to get around it, because this morning we had to use Ruby to just kind of figure it out. We got lucky and it wasn't too far out of the way and worked okay. If I'd have had my act together and checked how far we'd gone when we left Sylvan Heights, I could have said earlier that we were now over 50,000 miles on Ruby in less than 2 years. Although her birthday's coming up on June the 14th. So we're here at the Rocky Mount Supercharger. It's still saying we would only have to charge for 15 minutes, but we're gonna go in and eat, which means probably I'm gonna have to come move the car. If we didn't charge, it shows us not being able to. We're here at the Rocky Mount Supercharger. It's still saying we only need to charge for 15 minutes. It's showing that if we didn't charge, we would not have enough to get to Michelle's house. We would be at -4%. Of course, we would have the option of stopping by the Raleigh Supercharger, and we do have enough to get there if we wanted to. We're gonna go in and eat, so Ruby's gonna charge longer than the 15 minutes. I'll probably have to come out and move her, although there's nobody here but me right now, so maybe it doesn't matter. And I'm hoping we're gonna get a really high state of charge, because we are like at 22% right now on the battery. We're down pretty low, and the car should be plenty warm. All right, so it's starting to supercharge. Let's see how fast we go. What speed will she get?
Well,
yeah.
this one's going much higher.
No, it's not up to where the other one was yet. If it goes over 95, this one's only 86. Usually it's fully ramped up in so Rocky Mount apparently is only a version 1 supercharger, so we're not going to see those top speeds here. I don't know why I'm only getting 86 kilowatts though, because you would have thought I would have gotten a little bit higher. We're gonna go in and eat. I'm gonna let Ruby charge. I'll try the 150 kilowatt test at the Raleigh supercharger another day. We ended up eating at Outback instead of at the Texas Steakhouse, and it's just a slightly farther walk, not much. And Ruby's almost at 100%, but you know that last little bit takes a while, which is a good thing when you're having a nice sit-down dinner. So she's just finishing up, and I'm gonna go get her for the guys and pick them up over there.